All right, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, this is Joe and Jay Outspoken. I'm Jay.
And I'm Joe.
Hey.
Caught me off guard.
Glad we got that established. Hey, you got a 50-50 chance of getting it right either way. So,
you got to wager that because you're like, that guy's a little brown. I'm going to have to say Joe, not Jay. You know what I mean? But you know what? The J could stand for Jacobo. I'm just saying.
I don't even know. So for all of you returning, thank you so much. Hopefully you enjoyed the last week's episode or the week before. And if you've missed them,
just get on there, log back in there and do it because I know where you live.
We're watching. Yeah, we've got a whole catalog going on now. So a bunch of different episodes and some fun stuff, some funny stuff, and some serious
stuff because we're serious people.
Yeah, we're serious. So, yeah. And if you want to check us out on any of our social media platforms, you can find them there at Linktree/Joe and Jay Outspoken.
Mm-hmm. Pornhub coming soon.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Not this month. So, yeah. So what is this episode we are going to talk about, Joe?
We're going to talk about modern dating.
Modern dating,
bro. I'm just, you know what? I think it has to be done.
It's got to be done.
Someone has to talk about it. Yeah, in a society where we've normalized quick hookups, OnlyFans, all like 2,000 dating apps out there. Like young girls want to date older men. If you like nuns, just weird apps out there.
There's a foot dating app.
Baby Jesus,
a foot dating app.
So I
why does that exist? Why does that exist?
They cater to fetishes, bro. And so I want to talk about that. I think it's gonna be a good topic. I think it's gonna be somewhat funny, but it's also gonna be some kind of sad because it's just sad the level that people are getting to. Like I don't know. Whatever. Let's get into it.
Yep, we're gonna do it. We're gonna show off Joe's dating profile. So here we go. Everybody, welcome back, and here we go with our dating episode. So what platform are you currently logged into, or platforms?
Silverdating.com.
Silver dating, silverfish dating,
silverfish.
Yeah. No.
Oh man, look. All right, so I know there's all kinds of crazy apps out there for dating, right? It's just sad. It's sad because, in the time of, do you remember back in the day, not too long ago, MTV had, what was it called? Something fish.
I don't know. Go fish.
No, that's a game. Catfish. You got catfished.
Oh, catfish. Yeah.
And meaning that, they would put a picture in it.
That was not them.
It was a dude, or it was, a girl that was.
Tons of makeup or something.
Yeah. Or it was a girl that was slightly heavier than what's depicted in the picture, And, and so it's
falsifying physical
appearances,
documents. Yeah.
But so that they call that catfishing, right?
Right.
And so, now like I feel like we've entered a time where people date or that are looking for dates are a bunch of introverted people because they threw it to a computer.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, look at this picture. They're just swipe left, left. Like they put a little heart. Like people don't want to. Do you remember back in the days when you had to actually speak to the females? Do you remember those times?
Yeah.
You'd have to you'd
be to make a conversation.
You'd be at a bar. You had to crack jokes. You had to be funny. You had something. You had to give something because clearly it wasn't our good looks. We had to adjust to that, right? Yeah. So we were funny.
There was a visual curve there. So.
Yeah.
Yep. I do remember those times.
We engaged in conversation, right? As awkward as some of us may have been. And you know what? Let me just point something out real quick. It just reminded me. My kids were asking about like when their mom and me met and stuff, and I think my ex said, "Oh yeah, he was really awkward." I'm like, I don't remember being awkward. I was like the stud. I mean, like, come on. You worked for my mom. I was the boss's kid. You know what I mean? I was confident. I could have fired you. And she's all, no, you couldn't. I'm like, maybe I couldn't fire you. But then I realized later that my mom loved her like a daughter more than me. And I'm like,
that's normally the way it goes.
Yeah, I'm like, how was it going anywhere? But anyway, you know, you had to engage in conversation, right? You had to talk to them. You had to, you know, you actually knew what that person liked, didn't like, and stuff like that.
Right.
We've gone to the point where like your first interaction is online.
Yeah.
You know, like you're like, hey, what do you like to wear? You know, I'm like, bro, you texting a girl still? Like, get on the phone and call her. You know?
Well, it's funny. So you're going to meet the person, right? And they've got all this stuff in their profile that says all these random things, and they're like, you know, loves to work out, works out 6 to 25 times a week, kind of thing. And you know, you start hanging out with them, and like, hey, let's hang out. Or are you going to the gym today or something? Or no, we can go hang out. Oh, okay, cool. Next day, no, I'm not going to the gym. It's like they lie about half the stuff that they put on. And I don't care if people go to the gym or not. It's just one of those things.
And I think, but
and you're right. Like mountain climbing. So what mountains have you climbed? Oh, I mean, I like watching it on Discovery Channel.
There's this little hill called Mount Everest that I like to go up once in a while. You know, like if I had a profile like that, bro, I'd be like, I'm 6 foot tall. I work out every day. Show up, they're like
daily.
I identify as 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Maybe I left that word out.
Right? I identify. Are you going to really tell me I can't identify this way?
So, you know, and you're right. You're 100% right, because a lot of those things that people just put on there, like, it's funny. It's like the question was, what do you like to do? Not what you think is cool to do. You know, you have to like, you have to kind of participate or have participated in these events to call them something that you like to do.
Right.
You know, but you're right. The people lie about this.
Well, especially now because of, us doing this right here, we can kind of edit and put pictures in here and all that kind of thing. Well, with an actual picture with, the advent of Photoshop, which has been around for a long time, and other video and photo editing programs and stuff like that, there's a lot of these folks that they'll take like pictures of, Paris, the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that. And they'll put themselves in there, and all like they're world traveling.
And they've never left their valley.
They've never left wherever they're at, and, so there's a lot of, fibbing and stuff. And,
wow, you said fibbing.
Fibbing.
But no, you're right.
Lying about it.
No, yeah,
well, it's this is one of the, and this is when, I don't know if girls say this, but a lot of guys will say this. When your girl like feels comfortable to like fart in front of you, right? That's kind of love, right? I know that sounds silly, but it's one of those things that when you get to that and it's not just farting, but other things, and you have a comfort level that like everything's cool. There is. Where the hell did that microphone come from? It just punched me in the face. It came from around the corner.
Okay, that thing just sucker punched me.
We need to talk to you.
Say more lies. Say more lies. Like, I was comfortable going to the bathroom in front of my ex. Like, I never do that. Like, I never, like, with people I've dated, I've never.
Oh,
But, but we were married for like 20 years, so.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So all those kind of things.
She had to clean my chonies too, so she kind of knew.
She saw the extras.
Here we go. Sometimes you just can't trust the fart.
Don't trust the fart. See, it always goes back to farts. I'm telling you. So, So people will put stuff on their profiles that, I love to go
stretching the truth.
Dude, I love to go out, and they're complete introverts, or the opposite. I love to sit home and watch movies and this and that, and then all they want to do is go out bar hopping and partying all the time, and it's like, just be freaking honest. The thing is if somebody ends up not liking you, they're more than not, they're going to not like you because they thought they were going to like you because of all the stuff you put on the profile. And then they end up hanging out with you, and they're like, this is not at all the person
Yeah.
that I thought they were going to be, you know. And you were saying stuff about like height and height. I think height for guys and weight for women is probably the big ones, right? And I don't understand it. So, like you were saying, some guy lies about his height. I'm 6'7", and you know, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, dude, you're going to have to meet this person at one point. They're going to see that you're not that tall, right? And the same thing with women. It's like, well, I got a little bit of winter weight going on. No, man, that's 15 Thanksgivings worth of winter weight. Okay, so stop it.
You know that little beluga whale that's under the water? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
that's a winter coat.
the thing is, man, is for the most, there are ultra superficial people, right, that look at all these kind of things, and I won't date anybody unless they're X whatever, and that's fine. It's a preference. Somebody has it, you know, whatever. If you look at statistics on like what's the swipe left, swipe right one? What is that? Tinder. Okay,
not that I know of. Plenty of fish.
Match.com.
All those, I think they've all kind of gone to the same thing.
Silverfish.com.
Silver Fox.
There it is. Silver Fox. Yeah. So the Tinder one, when it shows, so the statistics with guys on it, a lot of guys they swipe whatever direction is like, I like it, for almost all the women, like 80%. There's only a few times where they're like, nah, that one, I'm not even a 6-pack in. Will that one work? And
you're like 5 shots tequila, man.
Maybe, yeah. But you know what the problem? Drunk goggles on. But with women, it's the opposite. It's like the 80% that guys do, the women only swipe on like 10% of guys, right? Because they're very particular on what they, and that's just on a visual thing. And I find that. To me, I find that very curious, because if you look at like psychologically, right, men are very visual. And we always say this, that men look at a woman's appearance and all that kind of stuff, and women more look at the possibility of security. Not that women don't look at physical attractiveness and everything.
Oh, they do.
Too. Yeah, they do. But with the statistics with like Tinder, it's even like more so for women. Like they are way more picky than we are on it. To be honest with you, I think most guys that are on Tinder are on there for, we already know the reason. Right?
We said it earlier, quick hookups. So
quick hookups. Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like Tinder, Plenty of Fish, those are all quick hookups. You know, you find someone, you're gonna get lucky that night. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. Most of these sites are like that.
Well, especially
open, like OnlyFans, all that. I mean, think about it. Like as a male, I think men, real men, look more for a relationship. You know, they're looking for some stability, you know what I mean? Men don't like
peace in their life.
Men don't like to be alone. They really don't. And I think, you know, they look and they look at some values, see what's going on. But do you really like, and these women I want this kind of man. They want, you know, him to be like this and have plenty of money and, you know, work for me. I could stay home, blah, blah. But do you think really, if you're that girl that's on OnlyFans or you're on Tinder, that he's going to be looking for his future wife in those things? No, he's
absolutely
not. He is absolutely not. So if you're in those apps, or if you have an OnlyFans, if you're doing all that thinking that you're going to find the man of your dreams the way you want him, you're not going to find him in any of those platforms.
No,
you know, you need to actually be that person that you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can't be this person, want that person, you know, because it doesn't work that way. But I think these apps have really isolated people,
absolutely,
to a point where like that. So one of the things that you do when you go into these apps is you put like, what are you looking for, right? I'm looking for a female between this age, this weight, that
height,
blonde
interest,
or whatever, you know. It's going to narrow it down to those people, right? In your area, right? 25 miles, whatever. I don't know how I know these things, but so anyway, it's going to narrow it down, and it's only so now you've literally cut out 60% of potential women, because you narrowed it down. You've limited yourself to possibilities, right? And each time that you mark that little box that you want this and this, you're narrowing it even more and more and more.
You're
you know?
red marking a bunch of people
exactly
off the list. Yeah.
Where like in real life, like you if you're interacting with them, like if you're at I hate to say bars because you don't want to meet someone, future wife, at a bar, right? Not that being at a bar is
bar's a metaphor for a meeting place. So whatever, library,
right.
Barnes and Noble, whatever.
At the baseball game, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're looking at someone, you're seeing them, you're seeing how they interact in public
with others. Yeah.
With others, you're like,
do they have a laugh that would just like drive you nuts?
Right. Do they have a third leg that it would bother you? But if you're going to let's say an event that you like to go to, let's say baseball because I mentioned that, right? Okay. And then you see a girl that doesn't fit your criteria on your platform, right? Because she's not blonde, she's not
she's got a Dodgers cap on, so it's already a no. So.
Yeah, right. Here we go. but you see that she loves sports. Because she's at a sports game, having fun, chugging a beer, right? And you're like, oh, that's a cool chick, But because you marked all these marks that you've narrowed it to what you'll never see her on that profile, never, because she's not blonde, right? And you marked that you want blondes, right? And a certain age bracket, blah blah. And this girl's maybe younger, maybe a little bit older, but yet you see her and like, man, that's a perfect chick. You'd never see her on that app because you marked it off. And then someone like that probably won't even be on an app, right? Because she likes to have fun. She's outgoing, spontaneous, blah, blah, blah. But you're out in public, you see that, you're like, man, that's kind of attractive. But because we rely so much on these apps to tell us, oh, this is a perfect match. Oh, you're a perfect match here. We have this false sense of security of like, oh, well, Tinder or Plenty of Fish said it's a perfect match, so it's going to work out. I'm like, bro, it's computer generated. All it takes is your interest, her interest, put them together. Like, you guys are 89% match on lies.
Yeah, on lies.
You guys are liars
your
together.
Your relationship is based on lies.
But think about it.
Yeah. Now, I'm not knocking online stuff because I actually know two specific couples, one that have been married, gosh, I think they're over 10 years now.
Were there online apps 10 years ago, Jay?
Yeah.
Oh, there was? Oh,
yeah.
Well, sorry. I didn't know there was. But damn, this is old stuff then, huh?
It is, yeah. Well, when you start thinking about like MySpace and all that stuff, I mean, there's some...
Those weren't dating apps, though?
No, but that was a while ago. I mean, we were on MySpace in the beginning of the 2000s.
AOL logging on, remember?
The early 2000s. So, I mean, we're into 25 years ago when that stuff was out.
Bro, I saw this thing there. Real quick, guys, because we're old. I saw this thing. This girl was playing a cassette.
Oh, I saw that.
And it said, I guess this is how they played music in the late 1900s. I'm like, 1900s? What are you talking about? And I'm thinking, late 1900s. Oh my God, that is 1980s in the 90s. I'm like, oh my God, we're old.
We're old.
Did you see? I posted it. Did you see that?
Yeah,
dude, that made me feel super old. Like 1900. That's like saying the 1700s for us.
Right.
I'm like,
or 1800s at least.
I'm like 1900s.
1900s. Yeah.
Damn. All I remember is the one date that made me 1776. Thank you.
That's it. So the dating profile thing has become it's like the matchbook of lies. You can just put anything you want in there.
I'm a great lover. I measure between a good day 8 to 9 inches, all pure love, and I last about 45 minutes.
Wow!
In 5 sessions. Right? I mean, you can put whatever you want.
Yeah, you can put whatever you want, and everybody's got their quirkiness and stuff, and things that maybe they're not proud of or ashamed of or embarrassed of or all those kind of different kind of things. And normally that's not stuff you're going to put on.
No,
dating profiles to me are like job applications are. Job applications, there's one of those things that they will say, have somebody else write your resume for you, right? So you can embellish a little. They'll embellish a little bit more than you normally would, and they'll make you sound good where you might hold back a little bit. Well, I find like dating profiles being kind of the same thing. Mm-hmm. People put like some of the pictures and stuff. in doing this episode, research some of them. And I mean, you can look up dating profiles like on Google Images, and the amount of people that are using like filters with all kinds of, sparkly stuff and everything. It's like, I wouldn't trust any of that. Like, I'd rather you have a bent nose or whatever and just be a real person than trying to hide a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because it's going to be a disappointment. And then someone's going to get hurt when you see that person.
It's a relationship already started on lies.
Yeah, but it's just so funny because, like, I look at those apps, and you know what? I've browsed them. I never joined them. I browsed them just to see them. Like, what's the whole? Because you keep seeing it. Like, people talk about Tinder, Plenty of Fish. And one day, one of my buddies, he's all, oh man,
Christian Mingle,
ChristianMingle.com. There was this one of my friends, older friends that I known back years past. He's like, oh man, I got hooked up with this chick, and I kept hearing him hooking up. I'm like, where are you hooking up with these chicks? Like, what corner of the street is that? You know what I mean?
And how much did you pay?
Yeah, he's like, no, bro, it's on Plenty of Fish, man. The girls just get on there to hook up. And I thought to myself, I'm like, first, that's kind of sad that people know that these girls are just there to be had. Yeah. Right?
It's free, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not, because I think it's. So I think you could create a profile, but like you can't get messages unless you pay.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. So people, I think, were finding ways to go around that. Like, they'd put their numbers on their description. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? It was almost like the back page. You remember the back page?
The back page of what?
It was called back page. I think it was back page. And it was just numbers and like for good times and stuff. And there was basically like prostitution,
like the white pages and stuff like that.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
But it's called back page or something like that.
Yeah. Well, that was Craigslist stuff too.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So anyway, you browse it, right? And I was checking it out, and I'm just like looking at it. And I'm like, man, I feel like, and I'm not, the most handsome man in the world. I'm very handsome, but not the most handsome man. But the thing is, like, man, like, I would never get one of these apps, because I feel like your pictures out there in the internet world just get scrutinized, and and like I feel like I'm like this piece of meat on a wall, like, not that one. Oh, that one looks okay. You know what I mean? Like, like they're picking you off, like. Yeah. And not that I feel better than anybody else, but like I'm just, I guess, old fashioned, where I like to talk to a girl. I like to see what's the whole package, you know what I mean? How she interacts with people, like we just talked about, how they interact and things. I think that's important in a relationship, because you could be whoever you want on an online description, right? You could be Casanova.
Absolutely.
You could be, El Chapo. You can do whatever you want. You can put whatever picture you want. And then you could just easily write it off as like, oh, that was me about 10 years ago.
Less than 5%. Listen to this very carefully. Less than 5% of all social media or dating platform descriptions of the individual tell 100% the truth. Less than 5%.
Wow.
So they studied, or not studied, did those random question things like college campuses and stuff like that, and less than 5% are actually telling 100% of the truth on it. So it's pretty crazy, pretty scary. For me personally, and I didn't know, I thought the Plenty of Fish one, I thought that one was free. And what was the other one? Tinder's free, right?
None of these are free.
Oh, they're not
none
free?
of them are free. They also, you could free to sign up, but to get like responses or be able to connect, you have to pay.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for me personally, if you're going to do that, this would be my recommendation. I mean, you don't have to listen to me or whatever, but I would say find one that's not cheap, like that you got to pay something every month. Because
weed out the cheapskates.
Yeah. Well, especially for women. I mean, why you're going to really be on the one where the dudes are just like,
I think they know, bro. I really think they do. I think that's what they want. They want a quick hookup. This is where we're living today. Where people have no respect for others and mostly no respect for themselves. Yeah, there's a lot of promiscuity going on in these social apps. Yeah. There's a lot of hookups happening, a lot of, and I think that affects people's mental health and their self-esteem. Because I think a lot of people, when they feel like they have low self-esteem, these apps help them build up
Right.
because it's just a hookup. You're not going to get a call back, girl. This is just a hookup, and they're okay with that. And that's the bad part about it.
Yeah, it hits that adrenaline mark just for one time. I mean, it's just like the you were saying it earlier, OnlyFans and all these ones where the girls will have guys pay. And I guess it goes the other way, but it's probably mainly girls. I can't imagine girls paying to watch guys be naked.
They do on ours. We have like 2 subscribers.
And we're unsure if they are women.
They're the big, bald, fat man.
In their basement,
Yeah.
eating Cheetos. So
Take it off, Joey. Take
gosh.
it off.
don't do this.
Pull that beard on Jay, Joey.
Yeah. So going back, I really think that if you're gonna sign up for this stuff and you want a meaningful relationship, right? You're not looking for if you're looking for the quick hookup, I guess is the modern way of doing it.
Or
This
call
is the
us.
modern day.
Email us. It's right below.
Don't call me. But get onto a site that's got like legit barriers at the
Or get out of
entry.
your mommy's basement
Or get
and
out of mom's
out into the
basement. Yeah.
world
Yeah.
and meet people.
Go meet somebody. Gosh.
But here's the thing. I think people are getting lazy. Like they don't want to put the work in.
Right.
Like if you're not willing to come out to society, to life where it's happening out in the streets and meet people, like to me that's lazy. Like dude, get out there. Or girl, get out there and
Yeah.
one, enjoy life. At least that tells me like, oh, they like to go hang out with friends once in a while.
Well, what's happening is, so when we were younger, right, we had our friends groups. So like you and I were more acquaintances. I mean, we were friends, but we were more acquaintances.
Did you
back-
call me an acquaintance?
like in high school? But
Yeah.
each of us had
You're
our
a band member.
Groups of people we hung out with, right? So the thing is, if you and I were sitting at say lunch or whatever, talking, and you're like, who? Oh man, I saw that girl or whatever, and I'm like, oh, that's a girl from my group. How about I talk to her and have her, come
And by
talk
group,
to
do you
and-
mean band geek?
Yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of the guys like the band girls, so just saying.
because they're easy. I heard what goes on in those buses. You're not going to fool me.
It's a web of lies.
I thought that, oh, look at all the little nerds. They should start a Pornhub page just for y'all band members.
Band people.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah. Well, that's another episode entirely. But so, yeah.
If you want to know, email me. I'll tell you. I'll tell you Jay's adventures.
Oh gosh. So right there would be some girl in my group that So the reason I'm saying this is that people have, like you said earlier, have lost this this social networking deal, right? And so when we say social networking, what do you think of? Oh, you mean Facebook, Instagram, TikTok?
Yeah.
That's social networking. No, social networking is where you physically know people, you physically talk to these people.
Networking.
Yeah, I remember years ago, because you remember the whole Dungeons and Dragons thing.
I was I believe a very powerful elf.
So yeah. Anyhow,
Like you were.
it's okay. I was a wizard, so it's all right. So later on, that kind of morphed into when computers could handle gaming and all that kind of stuff.
It all started with Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail.
that
Yeah,
one.
you have dysentery. So there was games that came out. I'm trying to think of the first one I played. I don't know if it was like Elder Scrolls or no, it was EverQuest. That's what it was. EverQuest.
EverQuest.
The first EverQuest. Yeah. And so you had, I know. Yeah, seriously, man.
I'm just kidding. I played Dungeons and Dragons.
You would get, I did too. So, you would have real life friends, but you'd also meet people online, right? So that was really the first gathering of that kind of thing. And they did what they called guilds, right? And all this was groups of people that you liked online that you would hang out with and go kill dragons or whatever the, quest of the day
Right.
was, kind of thing. And so that was kind of the beginning of, that whole online thing of having people that you've never met in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, we were on the West Coast, we're talking to people like on the East Coast or whatever. Normally the servers and stuff, you try to be on the same time zone, as much as possible. But sometimes it was fun because you met people. And so
I used to meet other D&D players in bathhouses. That's where we met. I don't know.
Wow. Was it a Jeffrey Dahmer bathhouse? I don't know. All right, cut. This episode's over. But those things we actually went to. So I go ultra nerdy because there was a couple times I went to actual physical meetups, right? And where you actually meet some of these people, and it was really cool. I don't think that there's anything equivalent to that now, right? So it's gotten so ingrained to be online that's all you do is, I mean, if you think about somebody dating nowadays, what's probably one of the first things they do? Well, they meet online some way. When they finally do exchange phone numbers,
real numbers,
real life numbers, they start texting and probably don't meet each other forever, and then they start sending pictures and stuff like that, and it's like you have
nudes.
Well, that's up to the individual, I guess. And you don't have this actual feeling from this person. You've got a bunch of, superficial sensory stuff, right? Yeah. Visual. I'm saying things that maybe I'm not going to actually be that person, once we meet. Again, I love dogs or this or that. And it's like, so how many dogs have you owned? Oh, I've never owned a dog. But,
or he's allergic to them.
But
you're right. Because
cats.
When you have that false sense of security of that computer screen protecting you, right. You're easily more driven to agree or acknowledge something they say. Right, like the girl says, "Oh, I really love going to the movies." You're like, "Oh yeah, me too." You know what I mean? So it's just so quick. Not that you're maybe trying to lie, but it's just so quick to agree because you do like this girl. So you're trying to find connections, and if those connections are false in one way, it's because you're trying to establish the connection, right? And you think to yourself, well, if I have to go to a movie once in a while, not a big deal. Yeah. But if this girl turns out to be a movie lover and likes to go to the movies every Tuesday when they drop, what are you gonna do?
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to go to movies again. Right. So it gives people this ability to be who they're not.
Yeah.
And that's where the problems start. That's why relationships don't last as long anymore. Longevity in relationships is unheard of now. Right. They last for a little bit and then they're done. Right. On to the next one. Next Tinder match. Right. Next one on the list. All right. Let's go to this one. Right. And it just becomes a quick hookup and you never really get to interact with people because you've established that. And it could be a lot of reasons. It could be like, hey, you know what? I've been hurt for so many times. I'm going to be protective. So I'm just going to use this app. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
If you feel more secure, meet someone like that and then meet in a public place later on, then that's how you do it. But I just don't think you'll always have a genuine person when you go through these online applications. I really don't. I just think that you're going to be getting a lot of false people in them, and it's unfortunate because what's happening in our society today is we're all becoming obese. We're getting lazy. There's so many things happening. Our health are done. Our mental health is all screwed up, right? Because we're not interacting anymore. We're not getting up off the computer screen and going living a life, right? We're like this on our phones or online or, but we're not we can't disconnect.
Yeah.
And I think we said this once in one of our episodes. We need to just disconnect.
Yeah.
We need to get off our phones. We need to just go and live like we used to when we were kids. Remember?
Do a social media purge every, couple weeks or something. Just decide at least one day. Just don't look at stuff, And you said it on one of our other episodes that, unfortunately with us being on here, we kind of keep up with Joneses and figure out what's going on and current media stuff and all that. But we would rather not be on social media that much. I mean,
me and Jay love to go out and shoot and stuff.
Yeah, I'd rather be out in the world doing things and
bowling. We talked about going bowling,
riding motorcycles,
motorcycles,
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna start a club.
So I got a little story So it is a true bar story. I went with a buddy of mine that I worked with years ago, and he invited me to the Yard House.
Oh,
And
good place.
Yeah, they have all kinds of different kinds of beers and stuff, and we were standing there at the bar, and his girlfriend shows up, and we were hanging out with her, and then her friend shows up, and everybody's just hanging out drinking. So next to us, right, sitting at the bar, is this girl and this guy, and both of them are on their phone. And I mean, this is years ago. I think this is during the BlackBerry time. So this would kind of show you
I
how
love BlackBerry.
show you how far back it was. It may not have been quite that far back, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty much in that era. So
you need to come back, BlackBerry. Come back, please.
Come back, BlackBerry.
I love it.
So I was sitting right next to this girl that is next to this guy that they're on a date. I don't know. I didn't know if they were, had been, it's first date or 100th date, but they just seemed awkward together.
Yeah.
So, I'm still talking to my friends here and everything. And I'm like, you know what? I got to break the seal. Got to go to the bathroom. So I get up and I go to the bathroom, and I'm standing at the urinal, and this Yard House in particular had like those trough kind of things.
Yeah.
And the dude that was with the girl
Pee gets
next
all over
to
your
me,
shoes.
God, guys, man. So our bathrooms suck, ladies. So don't go in there, okay? So the guy that's sat next to the girl, he all of a sudden walks in, right? And I'm just sitting there doing my business, and he starts peeing. But while he's peeing, he's playing on his phone.
Jesus.
And you know what I see him doing? He's going through a list of girls on some dating. I don't know what dating app it was. I couldn't even tell you. But I can see him scrolling through, and he's clicking on them and stuff. And I'm like,
while he's on a date?
While he's on a date. So, these people are scandalous out here. So anyhow,
Anywho,
I get back from the deal, and I sit down, and I see her sitting there, and looks like she's texting like a girlfriend or something like that. Anyhow,
call me in 20 minutes that I have to leave.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, I'm sitting there, and before he comes out, I said, hey, just so you know, I mean, I hope this isn't too weird, but I was just in the bathroom right now, and that guy was like looking at, profiles of other girls, and she goes, yeah, it's our first date. I don't think it's going to go anywhere anyways. So,
I can't believe you ratted him out, bro.
I did. I was like, what the heck?
Hey, come have a seat here. Come join a party.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, so the moral of the story, the end of it, she actually did. Her and him got up and left, and then she came right back and hung
There
out
you go.
with
He
us.
goes, rat him out every time he can.
Yeah.
Get a new friend out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So
man.
Don't trust those darn social media apps, man, and what people what people put on there.
I think honestly, if as a woman, or even as a man, if you're out looking for,
how about a man that identifies as a woman?
No such thing. So stop confusing me.
What is that called?
Mental health
health issues. Yeah.
So
okay, go ahead.
If you're looking for a serious relationship, obviously, if you're looking for a relationship, a serious one, you're not going to find it in an app. I mean, I don't think you will. I mean, the possibilities is there, right? Right, not.
But I think you can. I think it's going to be difficult though, because
but I think that we need to go back to interacting with people, to talking to people, to really get to know somebody, because I don't think look, man, let's be honest, we're not going to be honest on those apps. We're going to put everything down. If we think that little figure of a bowling ball is cute, we're going to put that we like bowling, right? Or if we think like, man, I've always wanted to roller skate, I'm going to put on there that I like roller skate, right? We're just going to do things just out of like, hey, because that's what we think. If we put more activities, they're going to be into me, And
do you play pool? Yeah, I play pool. I'm no good at it, but I like it, So,
but that's not an interest. That's not an interest. That's something you did. There's a lot of things I did once. It doesn't call it an interest.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe a little perverted, but not an interest. But what I'm saying is that people need to get out there and start living again. Right. And I've said this.
Get out there.
Yeah, and I've said this many times. You need to disconnect. You need to just take those phones, put them away. One of the things that I saw someone do one time was pretty amazing. They had a family dinner every Sunday. they had this little basket right at the door. And when you come in, you have to dump your cell phone right there. You dump your cell phone, and then you go have dinner with your family and just enjoy it. So, but you could do that with a game night. Let's say you guys have game night with a bunch of friends. Man, dump those phones and go have game night. You know what I mean? Or if you're gonna go out to dinner, everybody, hey, put the phone in a basket. Here's a good game. Whoever picks your phone up pays for the whole dinner. You know what I mean? So it's just you have to disconnect. You have to interact with people. I mean, we've been doing this for years, interacting, right? Talking to people, trying to get to know people. That's how you build bridges and relationships and things like that. An app that doesn't respond to you, that's just a picture with a bunch of interests, that doesn't tell you about somebody.
No.
Doesn't tell you what their intent is. They could put on there, seeking friendship for possibly more. I don't even know what that means, but you know, but if you put all that stuff, guess what the guy's going to tell you? Oh my God, I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking for my best friend that's going to be a relationship, because that's what the guy wants. That's what she wrote that she wants.
Right.
So that's what I'm going to tell this girl, because I'm trying to hook up.
Yeah.
That's what. So don't make it easy.
Right.
Make it a challenge, man. You ain't getting down these pants for free. You buy me a cheeseburger, it's free. All night.
Extra large pizza. Here we go. Game on. All right, everybody.
Man,
thanks so much for sharing another episode with us. I'm Jay, and this is
I'm Joe.
Hysterical Joe over here. Thanks for joining us again. You can check us out on all of our social media platforms at Linktree/Joe and Jay Outspoken,
or on Tinder, Pornhub, and now
Christian Mingle.
I'm just kidding. We're not in any of those.
We are not on any of those. No. So so you guys get out there and have some fun, and meet people, and don't trust everybody on social media platforms, because there's less than 5% chance that you're meeting somebody that's actually telling the truth. All right. Well, regardless, be good to one another.
And remember, do better, be better.
And as always,
God bless America. We'll see you later.
See you.